Good evening from the Clark Athletic Center at the University of Massachusetts in Boston. I'm Jim Lauer of the NewsHour on PBS, and I welcome you to the first of three 90-minute debates between the Democratic candidate for president, Vice President Al Gore, and the Republican candidate, Governor George W. Bush. We ask the first question to Mr. Gore. You have questioned whether Governor Bush has the experience to be president of the United States. What exactly do you mean?
What I mean, Jim, is that, to be precise, I have not questioned Mr. Bush's experience. What I have truly questioned, if we are to be correct, is his policies. And that, Jim, whether the American people will be better off with a Bush presidency, I'm afraid that answer is most likely no. A Gore presidency is an investment in America, and I mean investing in education, healthcare, the environment, and middle-class tax cuts and retirement security. That's my agenda, and that is why I think it's not just a question of experience.
Governor Bush, a rebuttal?
Well, hello, Mr. Jim. My name is George W. Bush, and I'd like to thank you, PBS, the city of Boston, and this great country for hosting this here debate. I would like y'all to consider this. We come from different places. I come from good old West Texas. My opponent is going to make that their government too big. I do not like big government. I do believe that my opponent is correct in stating that there is a matter of policies. But Mr. Lair, I don't believe that man from Tennessee has the policies that y'all want or need. Hello, America. My name is Wolf Blitzer, and this is a late edition. It is 2 days until the election, and the two candidates seem to be neck and neck. The real question that many are posing is, did Al Gore invent the internet? Here are my two guesses. First, do you believe that Al Gore invented the internet? Yeah, clearly Al Gore invented the internet. Al Gore helped build the path of the information superhighway, and without his... No, Al Gore did not invent the internet. Yes, he did. No. Well, let's see what the Bush campaign has to say. Y'all like the internet. Well, I do too. And I don't think it's fair to say that one person invented it. But listen to Al Gore. I invented the internet. Al Gore claims he invented the internet. Do you believe him? Do you want to vote for the man who took credit for the hard-working Americans that made this here internet? No. That y'all should vote for me. We now have George W. Bush on for some questions in the final hours of the campaign. Thank you, Wolf. Okay, Bush, many people have criticized you on your state's death penalty policies. Do you believe that they are fair? Thank you for this question, Wolf. I do believe that this here great state of Texas has the best death penalty policies in this here nation. I don't believe that we kill too many folks. I would personally argue that we don't kill enough. I'm very proud of my great state's death penalty policies and would love for them to be the same everywhere. But sir, this year your state has already executed 34 people, and there is still almost 2 months left. Do you think that your state gathers enough evidence to ensure that with all certainty the people executed are guilty? Thank you, Wolf. I do believe that we gather enough evidence, and personally, I feel that this is almost too much evidence. I feel like 34 is too small of a number, and that we may need even more people to get this penalty to rid this great nation of these horrible criminals. Sir, what about the composition of the people executed? Over 30% of your executions this year were to African Americans, despite less than 12% of the population being of that race. Do you think these numbers are appropriate, or could there be some sort of bias? Thank you, Wolf. I do appreciate your question. However, I disagree with you. No matter their race, bad people deserve death penalty. And that is how we do it here in Texas. Yes, sir, but is that the way it should be done in America? Yes, sir. Thank you. That was George W. Bush. Tune in tomorrow night for our election coverage. Hello, my name is Tim Russer, and this is our 2000 election coverage. It's shaping up to be a close race, and no one is truly sure who's going to win. Now that these first polls have started to come in, we're declaring this election too close to call. This is definitely an interesting night. This election is still too close to call. We would now like to inform you that NBC has rescinded our call, and now this election is once again too close to call. We have now been informed that in Florida there will need to be a recount due to hanging chads, possibly skewing vote totals in this state. To explain this process, we have Florida Governor Jeb Bush.
Happy to be here, Tim.
Hello, Jeb. So, how is this recount working from your end?
We are being incredibly impartial, and there is no possible way that we are working to skew these results.
Excuse me, what?
We are trying as hard as we can to maintain neutrality and not treat Democratic ballots differently, as my brother is a Republican candidate.
Yes, but that's not what I was asking.
Oh, from our end, we're just counting. We're ensuring that all the Republican hanging chads are counted, and some of the Democratic ones as well. I mean, we're manually counting each individual ballot, no matter the party, to ensure that there is a fair result.
Thank you, Jeb.
We're finally getting results from Florida. I'm going to try and draw it on the whiteboard, but they're coming in way too fast.
I'm afraid that even after the recount, this election is still too close to call. We're going to have to go to the Supreme Court. We reverse the judgment of the Supreme Court of Florida, ordering a recount to proceed. This just in. The Supreme Court has ruled against their previous ruling, requiring the recount in the state of Florida. Here to discuss this is Jeb Bush. Jeb? Well, sir, this great state of Florida will be seizing the recount and declaring George Bush the winner, as he is my brother. I mean, because recounting would cost countless taxpayer dollars. There you have it, folks. Thanks to this Supreme Court decision, we have now declared George Bush the winner of this exciting 2000 presidential election.
I think y'all are just misunderestimating me.